let's keep it in the Central Division. Uh, well, two Central teams made a trade with each other. Ryan Johansen goes to Colorado, 50% retained from Nashville in exchange for Alex Galchenyuk, who is on expiring contract. So basically nothing. Okay. First reaction when I saw this trade was I absolutely love this for Colorado. They get their 2C for half off, and I think this is going to give Ryan Johansen a chance to shine. I'm a big fan. I honestly think he's a pretty good player. Like, I know that he's being paid like a superstar, but now he's not on Colorado, and he gets to play on a better team. And also, Colorado finally have the hole filled from what was left of Nazem Kadri.
I'm looking at his stats here from last year. He had a really bad year. 28 points in 55 games. That's basically a 40-point pace. But it is tough to hate at a 4x2 number, right? And
He's
that's
getting
what
paid like a
Colorado's
3C.
getting at. He
Yeah,
is going to get paid. He's getting paid like a 3C, but I think the big thing is actually the term, the fact that it's only 2 years. Because how I'm looking at it is I'm almost looking at it as if they signed him as a UFA because they didn't have to pay anything for him, right? And that's how free agency works. You don't have to give up anything. You just give them the money. And that's kind of how this is going here. And if Ryan Johansen was on the open market, he's definitely getting. I would say he's
6.
getting more than
6.
2 years.
Oh,
Um.
yeah.
Okay, he's 30. You could probably. I would say. I would
6
say
by
maybe 5x5. I could say
Yeah.
you could get a 5x5. That's what I could see personally. And to get
Would
him
it
at
be
4x2,
but would it be worth a 5x5?
exactly.
At
Exactly.
35, do you
Specifically that
want?
second five, that year.
Yeah,
The term is what kills you.
yeah.
So I think
At
Colorado's getting the
35,
best of both worlds.
do you want Ryan Johansen at 35 making 5 mil? Ooh, maybe not. But
No.
at 30 and 31, Ryan Johansen making 5 mil. It's a lot more palatable. And that's what Colorado's getting in this, right? Like, this is probably close to the end of Ryan Johansen's prime. He not one of the Preds that put up like a career high a couple of years ago? So he's like a season removed.
Yeah, so it was him and Duchesne that had really good years last year. Last year he had 63 points in 79 games, with 26 goals, which was his second highest mark in his career.
Okay.
So it's a pretty good. Like, if you're getting that from him this year,
yeah. So you make that
is a
bet.
bargain. Yes.
So that's why you make this bet, right? So it's that, like you said, Christian, it's like a UFA signing. Definitely another thing too, like, dude, 50% retention. So instead of the 8 mil you're eating up for this year and next year, it's only taking 4. Maybe, yeah, I would take that bet if I'm the Avs, right? You put him just below Nate. Hopefully Nate gets to stay healthy all year. You lost your captain in Landeskog for the year. Rantanen also had, I believe he had a pretty injury-plagued season. So you're pushing some of those guys that were playing bigger minutes last year. You push them down a little bit. Man.
I don't know. I love this move. Look at his face-off percentage.
I do too. I think it's
got to be at least
like,
over 55. It's
that's
got to
probably
be
the best. That's probably the best UFA second line center that you could find right now.
But like, not even that. It's just he brings so much value that I just think people understand. One, his face-off percentage is ridiculous. Another thing, he's a right-handed center, which it's not really a common thing. And you're also going to put a guy who likes to pass and touch the puck with either one of Rantanen, Nishushkin, or Lekanen. They're going to get their chances. I think he's actually going to do pretty well. This might be a career year for him in terms of
his
production.
face-off percentage is 59.2. I just wanted to get the actual number there. So it's a really good number.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just one of the league's best.
60, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What's the production that you'd have to get out of Ryan Johansen to consider it a good deal? Specifically next year. Is 50 points, 20 goals, 30 assists enough? I think honestly it might be. I think that's the mark for me where I'm satisfied.
It's 50, but it's in an 82 game. Like,
he's never hurt.
50-point pace. So slightly over. So let's say a 0.6 point per game pace.
I
Yep.
would say honestly 50 points, but he has to play in at least 60 games though.
So 50 points in 60 games.
I would say at
Or you're saying the
least
pace.
playing 60 games.
Okay. Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
my term of
Availability
success.
is
If you're
it's
available,
important.
that's
Yes,
my thing,
you gotta
right?
be available, especially on Colorado, who has been missing availability from guys, right?
That
It's a
is
good
why
point.
they
It's a very good
traded
point.
for that is why
Yeah.
they traded for him, right? For somebody to be available. And I don't think you could get, an Iron Man like, one of those types of guys to be
Yeah.
available at that price with his same skill. I don't think that there's like you have to kind of compromise a little bit. So unfortunately, you take a guy who's probably got a little bit more hard miles. One knock could probably take him out for a bit longer than other guys. But you caveat that with, everything else that Brian mentioned above, right? So
Yeah.
it's a good bet to make, honestly.
Real quick on the Nashville side, I feel like if I had to give a grade, it's TBD because it all depends on what they do with that space now, right? So they freed up 4 million in space for this year and next year. I think if they use some of that space to take on another bad contract to get an asset back because they didn't get one in this situation, then you say kudos Barry Trotz, well done, nice piece of business. Until then, yeah, there's not really much to say on the Nashville part of things.
They basically just got cap space.
Yeah.